What's up, Fire Nation? If you're here, it's because you don't play small. Fire Nation is for the ones fueled by passion, driven by growth, and hungry to build real wealth. Not just for yourself, but for your family and future generations. This isn't just a channel. This is a movement. And if you're watching, you are already part of it. I'm Miss Bluefire, always taking you higher. Let's light it up. What's up, Fire Nation? If you don't play small and you're here to build, you're in the right place. I'm Miss Bluefire, always taking you higher. Let's light it up. Oh, hello. Hello, Fire Nation. Well, today we have a really great lesson for you today. Hi, Brandon Felder, and thank you for becoming a member. So we're going to continue with our book, Make Your Bed, right? Wonderful book. We stopped at chapter 5 last time because there are 10 chapters, and I definitely wanted to give this book its due. So I'm just going to talk to you a little bit. I'm not going to go over the past 3 chapters, but I'm just going to talk to you a little bit about just remind you about what it was about, right? So remember, chapter 3 was talking about the size of your heart, right? And just us reasoning right now, the world loves to measure. It measures titles, income, followers, degrees, status, right? But when it comes to being successful in life or with life, and that doesn't mean just superficial goals, just living, period, measures something completely different, and that's your heart. Okay? Which is your courage, your commitment, and your character. That's the stuff that will remain. Because money can disappear like that. Beauty can fade. Okay? All those other things can disappear. So when you keep your heart, you will listen. You need your heart to pass the test, and the tests are what build your heart. They build your commitment, they build your character, and they build your courage. It's facts. And you're always going to be tested. Always. Remember, I tell you about that that scene in the Bible when Jacob was fighting with the angel, and some people interpret it as him fighting with himself, right? But the point of the matter is the angel kept asking, who are you? Who are you? And he said, Jacob. Jacob said, no, your name is Israel, after a while, right? So in everything that you're going to face, you're going to get tested, and situations are going to ask you, who are you? It's for you to answer, right? And those tests happen when you are alone. It's facts, right? So the point of the matter is, the world is often a very poor judge of potential. People will underestimate you, people will misjudge you, and people will overlook you, but you have to let them. It's okay. It comes with it, right? It's facts. It comes with it. So in chapter 4, he was talking about life's not fair, drive on. That's actually one of my favorite chapters in it, right? And he was saying, a lot of people feel like they want life to be fair, like they want effort to guarantee reward, then, right? Or we always want honesty to guarantee success, right? Or good people to be protected from bad outcomes. We always want that. But life don't work that way, right? So you have to accept that truth. But you have to accept that truth and just keep going. It's a fact. Life is not obligated to be fair to you, to me, to anybody. And it's when you accept that truth, we become stronger, right? You can't control how fair life will be, but let me tell you what you can control. Remember, solution. We here at Fire Nation, we're solution based thinking. What can you control? You can control your attitude. You can control your effort. You can control your response, your character, right? It's facts. Good. So now we're going to go to, oh wait, chapter 5. Yeah, we're going to start off at chapter 6. But chapter 5, what was he talking about? Chapter 5 was failure can make you stronger. Yes, failure can make you stronger, right? And basically, he was saying everybody love success stories in that chapter. Yeah, that's what he was saying. He was saying everybody loves success stories in that chapter, but yet still failure is where most of our greatest lessons are learned, which is true. It's facts. Well, that is where you're supposed to learn from your failures. You're supposed to actually see your failures as data, right? But he said, like, as a society, we celebrate the championships all the time and we ignore the losses, right? So in this chapter, he teaches something very, very powerful. He teaches that failure is not the opposite of success, but it's often the tuition fee, like what I always say, for success, right? And the fact of the matter is, Fire Nation, if life never lets you fail, then life doesn't let you grow. It's just a fact. It's just a fact. The strongest people aren't people who avoid mistakes. They're the people who survived their mistakes and they learned from them and they adapted because of them and them change because of them, right? And become wiser because of them. So whenever you fail, it's not the end of your story. So always ask, what if failure is teaching me something that success never could teach me? Which is facts. Failure teach you more than what success could ever teach you. So we're gonna start with chapter 6. You must dare greatly. It's going to be a great chapter. So with this chapter here, Fire Nation, most people they're defeated by fear. That's what we hear, right? The fear of failure, fear of embarrassment, fear of rejection, fear of judgment, fear of looking foolish, and fear of not being enough. And because of that fear, countless dreams die before they're ever even attempted, just out of fear. Just out of fear. So this chapter here is about courage, not the absence of fear, but the action that we have to take despite being fearful. So welcome to part 2, Fire Nation. Let's continue. Oh, apparently I have it in members only, so only the members can see this. Is that true? 1 second, let me see. Is it in members only? I don't know. Maybe. Anyhow, we shall continue. That's all right. You can catch it on the playback. Big up Francisco Tim. Big up Bruce. Big up Bruce. Good to see you. Good to see you. Big up Francisco Tim. Good evening. Right? So we're gonna continue right now. So listen, you must dare greatly. This is the idea. Comfort and greatness really live together. It's true. I can't believe a lot of the people that I meet who cannot be uncomfortable. You're going to be uncomfortable. Don't worry, you will not die. It is uncomfortable. Learning anything new is uncomfortable. Right? You're going to drop. Expect it. And get up and go back and get and try again. Right? Comfort and greatness really live together. So most regrets come from what we didn't attempt, not what we attempted. It's facts. Now I can ice skate really good. The first time when I try, you don't know much boss but you know what I got dropping every minute. So now I don't regret it. I don't regret all the time when I drop. I actually laugh, right? right? So, but if I never did it again, or if I just stopped because of the shame, I wouldn't be able to just go on and do it and feel good and feel free when I'm doing it, right? So that's what I'm saying. So try, right? Business example, starting a business or even launching a channel, writing a book, making the first investment. All of them require courage because you're going to be uncomfortable, but you have to act despite being uncomfortable. That's the fear paradox right here. This is a paradox that a lot of people don't look at. Confidence don't come before action. Confidence comes after action, not before. That's why I always say to you, you don't sit down in front of a coal stove and say, give me fire, and then I'm going to put the wood in you and light you. No, it don't work so. You have to put the wood in there, you have to light it, and then you're going to get the fire. Right? You get your confidence after you do the first action. I remember the first sales call, first everything, you get afraid. But you have to do it, so you do it. And then it becomes easier and easier, right? You give yourself that proof. That's where you get your confidence, right? So this is a question I want you guys to ask in your own minds before the week starts, this week coming up. What risk have you been postponing? What risk have you been postponing? McRaven, he describes a dangerous training exercise where the Navy sees them dive through shark infested waters, pure shark, right? And they were taught to not panic because if them panic, them increase danger. And basically the lesson is calmness improves survival, which is true. So the lesson wasn't really about sharks, it was about fear. So it's facts. Because even in swimming, it's the same thing with business, they always say. If you panic, you're dead. Don't panic in the water. That's the quickest way for you to drown. Do not panic. Good evening, Mr. Marshall. Good afternoon, Mr. Marshall. Good to see you. Good to see you, my dear. Right? So, chapter 6, what happened in this chapter, he talks about the training exercise with the sharks, right? And it wasn't about talk to him about swimming. I just did. Right? So it wasn't about the sharks, it was just about dealing with your fear. The fear is going to come, is natural. You can't curse the fear. You cannot curse the fear. The fear means that you're a human, and it means that you're rational, and it means that you are trying to preserve life, which is normal, right? But it's what you do with the fear. You don't make it control you. Okay. Now, he has some quotes here. He said, "You must dare greatly. Do not back down from the sharks." That one is true. And always stay calm. Right? So your fear grows when whatever it is that give you that stimulus is avoided. The more you avoid it, the more your fear to face it grows. Right? But when you confront it, it shrinks. Right? And also the path to confidence often runs directly through discomfort. You're going to be uncomfortable. It is okay. Right? Successful people act before the confidence arrives. That's why they're successful. Right? Everyone requires courage, right? Moving countries, everything, changing careers, everything, right? But the comfort trap is the comfort feels safe because you feel safe there, and the comfort feels pleasant, right? I feel predictable, and you love that. But comfort, it really creates transformation. So you have to make up your mind: do you want change? You can't help people who don't want to be helped. It's fact. Blessings, TG Media, my brother. Blessings, Philip. You can't help people who don't want to be helped. And you know what? It's true. Look at reason a little bit before I even move on. I was reading through some passages the other day, right? And I was reminded of every time when Jesus, say like, "Wilt thou be made whole?" He's actually asking you, do you want to actually be healed? Wilt thou be made whole? I said to myself, look at this, see? Right? Look at what my book up. Just when I was thinking about this before, I just said, let me just read some scripture. Right? It's facts. You cannot help people who do not want to be helped. I love the capacity. Right? Even with the with the girl who died upstairs, and our father called for him, and him said Taliba Kumi, that means girl arise. So she had to do an action, right? And even with the other one, him said pick up your bed and walk. They actually had to do an action to prove their faith. They actually had to do an action. So you understand what I mean? So when people want to be helped, they move. It's fact. It's fact. Right? So you must always bear that in mind. Must always bear that in mind. So entrepreneurship is uncertainty. It is. It's up and down. Especially when you first start, it's going to be feast and famine. There are no guarantees. Not at all. No promises. No certainty. Right? But the entrepreneur, you have to act anyway. So imagine waiting until you are completely ready. You financial people who are business people. You will wait forever. Right? Many successful businesses began before the founder felt prepared. You just start and you learn as you go, but you learn fast. So you have to be paying attention to what. Well, if you have an interest, you'll be paying attention to what you consume anyway. Right? Let's hear that dancehall example. An artist face public judgment constantly. Every song released risks criticism. Every performance risks failure. Every experiment risks rejection. Without courage, though, there is no growth. Without courage, there is no growth. Right? Fear often guards the doorway to growth. It's true. Right? So here's a leadership lesson with this. Leaders frequently make decisions without perfect information. It's true. Waiting for certainty often means missing the opportunity. It's true. It's fact. Right? So here's a psychology lesson. The brain interprets unfamiliar situations as threats, but courage retrains the brain. So this is the foundation teaching points. Number one, confidence is usually earned. It's not granted. Right? That's why when people say, "Oh, I wish I was confident that you said don't care for what you wish for," because that means that you have your wish for the tests as well and the specific hardship. Careful what you wish for. Confidence is usually earned, so it's not granted. Courage in action despite discomfort. Right? Courage is action despite discomfort. Most regrets come from inaction, from you not doing something when you should have done something because you didn't realize that doing nothing is actually doing something. Fear shrinks when faced. And the life you want often exists outside your comfort zone. It's facts. Or just stay comfortable. So, I want you to ask yourself these things, Fire Nation. What risks are you avoiding right now? What would you do if fear wasn't a factor? What opportunity did fear cost you? In your own self, talk to yourself, people. Talk to yourself. Believe me. Right? Which creates more regret, failure or never trying? I would say never trying. 7, stand up to the bullies. Definitely true. Bullies grow stronger when people stay silent. Courage is not just personal. Sometimes it is moral. Sometimes you do the right thing because you're supposed to do the right thing. Now, standing up to a bully doesn't mean getting louder than them. You have your own ways. Right? But you have to let them know that the behavior is not acceptable. Right? You have to have standards. They will dictate the quality of your life. So, stand your ground. That's the fire code 1. Meaning, evil, intimidation, and disrespect must be confronted. You have to confront it. In business, this may mean refusing dishonest deals, unfair treatment, or people who try to pressure you into silence. Fire code 2, don't back down. Fear gives bullies power. Example, if someone tries to shame you out of your purpose, You must decide whether their opinion has authority over your calling. Courage is contagious, meaning when one person stands up, others may find the strength too, as well. One creator speaking honestly can give others permission to stop accepting disrespect. So, this chapter is not just about fighting people, it's about refusing to shrink. Some bullies are people, that's true, but some bullies are systems. Some bullies, it could be the memories in your head. Some bullies, it could be the voice in your own head telling you foolishness, like, oh, you're not educated enough, or who the hell you think you are, or you don't speak properly enough. Those are bullies. That voice in your head, get rid of it. It's your head. Right? Good. No. Yeah. So some clients too, they will try to exploit your boundaries. Right? Some contracts, if you read the contracts, they're actually they're predatory. Right? So sometimes leadership in itself just means saying, you know what? No. Mm-mm. Okay. Good. So here are some short snippets from that quote, from that chapter. Stand up to the bullies, find the courage, don't back down. So bullies gain power when people remain passive, and courage disrupts intimidation. Even one person standing up can change the outcome. Fear feeds bullies, and courage weakens them. Many adults, they think that they are not dealing with bullies, but they are. The bullies simply come as abusers, manipulators, dishonest employers, corrupt systems, controlling partners, internet mobs, fear itself. Right? So there are different ways that they show up. And they can show up inside of yourself too, but you have to stand up to them and remember your purpose. Okay? So let me give you an example, business example of standing up. A business owner who refuses unethical practices may lose short-term money, but gains long-term integrity. That's damn right. You have to be able to see far, right? And the trickle-down effect of stuff. So every time you betray your values, Fire Nation, or you betray yourself just to avoid conflict, what you're doing is you strengthen the bully. It's fact. So boundaries are often where bullies become visible, because healthy people, they respect boundaries. Manipulative people, they resist them. It's fact. Healthy people respect boundaries. So here's a dancehall example. An artist often face pressure. They follow trends, change identity, they copy others. The courage to remain authentic is its own form of resistance, right? They're not trying to be another so-and-so. They're not trying to be another cat. They're not trying to be another. They're just ready to be themselves, right? So leadership requires moral courage, not just strategic courage. You have to have moral courage. You have to be able to say no. It's a fact, right? Good. So you must have your boundaries together, especially if you go out in the world of business, because your boundaries will protect your self-respect. And actually, if it's a boundary, you just know it's just there for your protection. So you don't have to think about it, right? Your courage also inspires others. So you never know what you're doing, what you're leaving behind, right? So think about it for yourself. Where do you need stronger boundaries in your life, even in your family life, right? And think about it. What does courage look like in everyday life to you? Okay, so almost done here. Chapter 8, we're at chapter 8 right now. And chapter 8, he was talking about rising to the occasion. So the key lesson here he was saying was, life will test you in moments where fear is loud and comfort is impossible. but greatness is revealed under pressure. So basically, the same thing I was telling you guys last week or a couple weeks ago, where I say you don't squeeze an orange and expect to get lime, and vice versa. When whatever you squeeze under pressure, whatever is in it is going to come out. It's fact. That's why I like to see people in different circumstances. I can see how you are happy. I want to see how you are when you're afraid. I want to see how you are when you get told no. I want to see how you are when everything fall apart. That's how you know what's inside of somebody. Right? When you squeeze it, you can't squeeze a lime and get orange. There's nothing inside of it. So, greatness is revealed under pressure. So, be your best in the darkness. That's one of his quotes, right? So, character matters most when the conditions are worse. It's facts. Because that's when you get tested, you know. That's when you get tested, right? That's when you get tested, when the conditions are worse. Anybody can be kind when life is easy. The real test is how you act when you're tired, when you're disappointed, or when you're afraid. Good afternoon. Good afternoon, Kenny Marshall. Good to see you. Good to see you, and thanks for being here. Good to see you, Kenny. Right? And also, your pressure will reveal your preparation. Right? You don't just rise magically. You rise because you're trained. You rise because you're trained. You know how to handle under pressure. Right? If you're trained to answer questions in a certain way, it doesn't matter how much pressure people put on you, you're going to still answer it because you're trained. You have the training. You're not going to get flustered. Right? A speaker who practices regularly can handle technical issues, hard questions, and unexpected moments. Yeah. Okay, improv. Again, he said, stay calm under fire. Panic makes hard situations worse. That is right. It escalates it. When people losing their mind, it's good for you to just just de-escalate situations. That you can see is volatile. So you don't feed it. Right? A business owner who loses a big client must breathe, assess, adjust, and act, but not collapse. Right? Pressure reveals what you have been building privately. It does. So, pressure reveals preparation. So, this is the myth. A lot of people think that heroes are created during the crisis. It's not true. Usually, they were created before the crisis. Right? So, an athlete trains for years and years and years. The championship simply reveals that he was training for years and years before. A company that survived recession. How the company survived recession? Clearly, they had some business systems there that was built beforehand that could help them to survive the recession. So you don't rise to your expectations. This is a business rule. You fall to your preparation. Right? You do not rise to your expectations. That is in your mind. That's what you expect. That's what you hope. That's what you project. No, you fall to your preparation. Now, if your preparation is high, then fantastic, you fall high. But if you have no preparation, then too bad. F you, sorry for you. Such is life. You learn, so next time you prepare. Right? Big up, Garnet Reed. Big up, Garnet Reed. Good to see you. Right? So, in this one here, McRaven, he was talking about, the dangerous military operations where there is fear, uncertainty, and pressure everywhere. Right? And to save people's life or to stop people from getting harmed, that all boiled down to their preparation. The training mattered, the leadership matters, the calmness, what they had to have, that mattered. Right? When people were shooting at them, trying to kill them. When things went wrong, there was no time to panic. People just had to rise to the occasion. And it was the training that did that for them. Right? And the fact that little things matter, even making the bed. So the lesson is that you never know when life will demand your best. So you must prepare accordingly. Right? So he says that every person eventually faces moments that test them. The question isn't whether those moments will come, because they definitely will. The question is whether you've prepared yourself for when they come. You have to prepare yourself, right? So this is the deep dive here. Imagine two people for a nation. One person spend all them years, becoming very disciplined. The other one, spending years avoiding discomfort. And then adversity come. The adversity doesn't create the difference. It reveals who kept oil in the lamps then, basically. That's what the adversity revealed. That's what the darkness revealed. Who was prepared and who had the oil in their lamp. Again, here's my pressure principle. Pressure is like squeezing an orange. What comes out was already inside. I said lime. That's okay. Right? So pressure doesn't create character, it reveals it. But you know what, Julia? No, you shouldn't say this. Because actually, when people survive pressure, it does create the character. So you're going to have to find another way to say this. Pressure doesn't instantly. No, pressure doesn't instantly create. No. Pressure doesn't, because pressure does create character after they go through it. Necessarily say that. Pressure doesn't necessarily. I know you spelled this wrong. Yes, you did. Right, create character. Pressure reveals character. Okay, that's better. Sorry. I forgot you guys were here. Sorry, guys. That's terrible. That's terrible for me to say. Sorry. Right. So, where was I? So, yes, your ability to stay calm determines your outcomes, right? So your preparation before the event becomes visible during the event. Apologies, people. So, dancehall example. Many artists perform well in rehearsals, right? Not everyone performs well on the biggest stage. The difference is often preparation, right? Pressure exposes preparation. Vibes Cartel example. One reason dominant artists often appear effortless is because audiences only see the performance. They don't see the years of preparation behind it. The pressure of the stage rewards his preparation, right? Leaders borrow calmness from preparation. People who prepare deeply panic less. It's facts. It's facts. That's why some of us can have arguments and and people trying to get a rise out of you, and you don't get triggered because we have had to have these so many times. You see what I mean? It's fact. But it takes practice. Does it build character? Yes, Gandhi, that's what I was saying. Pressure does indeed build character after you survive it. It's supposed to. It's either it build your character or it break it down. It depends. But you are the subject matter. It's not the pressure, right? Good. So the brain often defaults to practice behaviors under stress. It's fact. That's why preparation matters. Under pressure, we rarely rise to our hopes. We fall to our training. Right? So preparation creates confidence. It's true. Pressure reveals the truth. Fact. Character is easiest to see during adversity. Fact. Such a big fact. Right? Your habits become visible when life gets difficult. That's true too. Right? Train for the storm before the storm arrives. This is what he says. He says, most people pray for strength, but strength is usually built before it's needed. Imagine praying, God, make me strong. And then life responds, then carry this weight. Strength requires resistance. So be careful what you wish for, basically, too. Right? Don't pray for strength and don't expect to get the things that will make you strong. Right? Anyway, you need to ask these questions for yourself. Okay, Fire Nation. What situation revealed strengths you didn't know you had? What did you go through personally in your life? Right? That revealed to you that you had these type of strengths and you didn't know that you could have done. Right? Do you believe that pressure creates character or reveals character? Skip that one. I don't like that one. Forget it. Right? What area of your life, what area of your life needs more preparation? Yeah, ask yourself this one. So ask yourself these two. What situation reveals strengths you didn't know you had? And what area of your life needs more preparation? Okay? Preparation is more important than talent. Almost done. Chapter 9, give people hope. Hope is not weakness. Okay? People think it is, it's not. Hope can keep people alive emotionally when everything around them says to quit. Meaning, encouragement can be survival fuel. You never know what your words of kindness or your words of encouragement can do to somebody. It might be simple and stupid to you, but you never know what you're doing to somebody you don't know. Right? It's fact. You can give one sentence at the right time and you can save a life. You don't know. Right? You never know who needs your strength. Right? A live stream message might reach someone silently struggling with discouragement. Right? And your words can actually help people stand again. Okay? So this chapter is about leadership, not leadership by title, but leadership by presence. Some people walk into a room and they drain it. Other people walk in a room and they remind people that, you know what, I can survive. I can get through. Right? Hope is leadership. Giving people hope is leadership. So money motivates people temporarily. Hope motivates people permanently. Right? The greatest leaders, like if you think about Martin Luther King, too. Right? Nelson Mandela as well. The greatest leaders give people hope, give them meaning, vision, belief, direction. Okay? It's fact. And some people get this through their favorite artists. They get that hope through their favorite artists. Right? So this is the Fire Nation lesson. Every person in your audience is fighting a battle that you cannot see. Right? Customers buy products, people follow hope. Okay? So in this one, he was talking about this hostage situation. And a lot of the people who survived, they survived partly because they refused to give up hope. Right? That became their psychological fuel to keep going because they were in a hostage situation and people were starting to give solace when weary. That's right. That's right. So their hope to see their loved ones at home and their hope to survive the day gave them emotional strength. So their hope became survival. They had to have hope. Right? So McRaven, he was saying that basically people can survive extraordinary hardship when they believe tomorrow can be better than today. It's true. Even man search for meaning. Right? By the guy who survived the Holocaust, Victor I forgot his last name. It just slipped me. Hancock. Man search for meaning. It's such a good book. Right? The hope creates endurance and hope creates resilience. Right? People rarely quit because they're tired. People quit because they stop believing. It's true. It's true. When you stop believing, especially when you stop believing in people, you quit. Because you don't believe it's going to get better. So why bother? It's fact. That's when people quit. Not because they're tired, because you've been tired, I'm sure, and because of the fact that you have so much hope for the thing, you keep going. Right? So hope is not pretending that your problems don't exist. Of course, problems exist. Hope is believing that the problems are not permanent. That's why we always say, this too shall pass. Right? This too shall pass. Feel what you're supposed to feel right now and go through it, grieve, but just know, say it going past. It's okay. Right? But you have to have the emotional discipline to allow yourself to feel what you need to feel. Good. So great leaders give people direction, meaning, purpose, belief, and hope. Without hope, people become discouraged. But with hope, people become resilient. Right? So, customers don't just buy products, people. They buy better futures. It's a fact. Right? A gym sells hope. A gym not selling, oh, running the treadmill for an hour. No, they're selling hope. A university sells hope too, a better future. Right? A consultant, them sell hope too. Right? And an entrepreneur sells transformation in a lot of ways. Every successful business tells us hopeful, sir. We can help, we can improve things, we can solve this problem. The hope is what drives the action. So here's our example. So our mission isn't merely just selling breathalyzers. It's basically selling a safer outcome, a safer drive home, a safer community. Right? That's hope. Right? That's our example. The most powerful songs often give listeners something to believe in. Right? Well, today is a good day. I love that song, right? Sometimes that belief is resilience, right? Sometimes it's triumph, sometimes it's just survival, but it's hope. Okay? So, the ability to inspire hope is often what separates managers from leaders. Right? Managers coordinate, but leaders inspire people. You have to make people see, but you have to see the light, You can't be a charlatan because it would be fake. You actually have to see the light too and want to communicate that light to other people. You have to be able to see the best and the highest timeline for people and show people that you can get there. I can see it. You see what I mean? But you really have to see it. Right? True believer. That's right. So hope sustains relationships during difficult seasons. It's fact. That's why I say when you lose faith or you lose hope in the person, is done, because the hope is what sustains it before. Right? Without hope, temporary problems feel permanent. Right? So people perform better when they believe their effort matters. Hope reinforces effort. Hopelessness kills effort. That's why we always say encouragement sweetens labor. It's true. People need something to believe in. Hope fuels perseverance. It's fact. So I want you to think back in your own time. I want you to start to think with yourselves in the evening, have some evening meds, right? Who gave you hope when you needed it most? Think about it, right? And what message gave you strength during a difficult season? And also, very important, how can you become a source of hope for other people, right? Leadership often means carrying hope for others. It's true. Hope is not weakness, hope is strength. And never underestimate your ability to encourage somebody else. Okay? So we're in the final lap right now. Chapter 10, the last chapter. Never ever quit. Very, very good chapter. Very good chapter. I love this chapter. Hold on 1 second. I'm going to drink something. I put too much ginger in it. Hot. Tastes good though. Okay, chapter 10. Never ever quit. Right? So the key lesson in this chapter is about endurance. So life will break many plans. Trust me, right? You know that. But it does not have to break your spirit. And that's one thing, right? Don't break people's spirit. Okay? Never quit. Meaning persistence is often the final difference between failure and breakthrough. It's true. Persist. Who persists win. Many creators quit right before the algorithm even pick them up, or the audience or the opportunity catches up to their consistency. I just think that's because I never really like it. Because liking it will keep you doing it, even when nobody not there watching or clapping. Because you just actually like doing it and you actually feel like you're giving value. So it doesn't really matter. You feel like people will discover. You understand what I'm saying? So it will keep you going through those times, right? But keep fighting, meaning pain is not a sign to give up. Sometimes pain is a part of the road. right? To show that you're worthy for the next step. It's fact. A business may struggle for years before one good partnership, one good product, right? Or a customer base that changes everything. So the other quote was, don't ring the bell, right? He says, don't voluntarily surrender your future just because your present is hard. Even when you feel like quitting, right? Just take a pause, take a rest, take an adjustment, even if you go away for a month, but don't abandon yourself. Don't quit. Sometimes all you need is a good sleep, right? Or to just not think about it, right? Fire Nation, listen to me. Quitting is not always loud. Sometimes quitting looks like procrastination. Sometimes it looks like hiding, right? And sometimes it looks like you pretend like as if you don't care because caring became very painful for you, right? So this chapter is telling you, don't ring the bell on yourself. Now, one caveat, in context, everything in context, because sometimes you have to know when to quit. It's fact, right? So if it's something that you really realize your real dream and it's just a part of the journey and it's hard, then of course you don't quit. But if it's something that is damaging your health, it's not healthy for your mental health, your emotional health, your physical health, right? Or your family health, and you've there's other things that you can do, or the lifestyle doesn't fit you, then that's fine. That's different. You won't even call that quit. That would just be stepping away because it's not for you. Right? So there's a big difference. Don't think that you should gung ho for everything. No, right? That's not what he's saying. Good. So he talks about the power of persistence. So the the big idea is persistence often matters more than talent. It's true. Most dreams they die from abandonment, not impossibility. That is true. Other people the dreams die just because they just move on to something else, right? Not because it was impossible to achieve, right? Many companies became profitable right before the founders planned to quit. They were drained and them just start make money just like that right before, right? So here's a dancehall example. Many artists disappear because they stop, not because they lack talent, right? And a lot of times the difference between success and failure is one more try, one more month, one more year, one more conversation, one more adjustment. Sometimes that's what it is, right? So let's get into the final master lesson of this entire book, right? Most people think that this book is teaching faith is the substance of things hoped for and the evidence of things not seen. That's right. That's right, Garnet Reed. That's right. Let me put the link in here just in case anybody wants to call in, because we are soon done. So I'm going to put this in. You guys can call in if you want to add anything or say anything to Fire Nation and the people on the playback, right? So this book here, most people think is about making your bed. It's not. It's teaching you control what you can, accept what you cannot, right? Help others and take risks. Endure your hardships. Refuse to have a victim mentality. Okay? Lead your people and lead with courage. Give people hope, right? And whenever life knock you down, you need to get up again, basically, right? And he also teaches that life will eventually test your commitment. It's facts. You think every time I come out here to teach, I feel like I'm in the mood to do it? No. But I have a commitment though. Right? And guess what? Every time I teach you guys, I feel better afterwards. I couldn't wait to feel better to come and teach you. That may never happen. No, I actually start teaching and I feel better because I actually enjoy it. Right? So it will always test your commitment. It will always ask you, who are you? Right? So also he talks about the brutal realities of Hell Week, right? Which was exhaustion, cold, pain, sleep deprivation. These are when the trainees were training in the to be Navy SEALs. So he says many trainees they reached their limits, and a lot of them quit. Right? Other people continued. The difference wasn't always the physical ability, because some of them who quit were the strongest and the fittest and passed with the highest marks. But it was the mental endurance. The difference wasn't always the physical ability, it was the mental endurance of them. That's what they were testing during Hell Week. Right? It's just facts. So, the people who achieve extraordinary things are often those who simply refuse to stop. Okay? So yeah, building a mission-driven company often means hearing no, 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 especially, oh my goodness, so many no's. Then eventually yes. Right? Here's a dancehall example. Many artists disappear not because they lack talent. They disappear because they stop. And we always say, wait, what happened to so and so? What happened to so and so? Right? Longevity in itself is an achievement. That's why I say the artists that are here still, the fact that they're still around, that's an achievement in itself. Right? They're still active. Consistency is often talent expressed over time. That's what consistency is. Talent expressed over time. You have to keep going. Right? And people follow leaders who endure. Right? Your endurance is going to create your credibility. Okay? You have to continue even through the hard times, the imperfect seasons. Okay? Every challenge you survive becomes evidence for you that you can handle hard things. It's facts. So here are some teaching points for you. Persistence beats perfection. Take a picture, write it down. It's facts. Persistence beats perfection. Number 2, small progress is still progress. Don't cost yourself. Even if you say you're gonna and you just went for a walk for 20 minutes, you still did something. The skeptic, hi skeptic, I'm gonna let you up right now. Right? One
Hi,
second.
Miss Julia, how you doing?
1 second there. 1 second. Come in. I'm gonna mute you for 1 second. Hi, skeptic. Thanks for calling in. Just hang on. Let me finish this one slide. Right? So persistence beats perfection. Okay? It's facts. And most people quit because they underestimate the timeline. Okay? And success often arrives disguised as endurance. The goal is not speed, the goal is continuation. Okay? Yes, skeptic. Unmute. Yes, skeptic. How are you, my dear?
I'm doing well. How about yourself?
I'm well, dear. I'm well.
I catch you.
Happy Father's Day.
Thank you very much. I really appreciate that.
Yeah. How
I
did
did
you
not.
spend it? Sorry, go
I'm
ahead.
sorry.
No, I was gonna ask you how you spent it, but that's okay.
Yeah, I mean, pretty much a work day.
Okay. Okay.
It's I pretty
Understood.
yeah. The business that I do, I have to do it by myself, so I'm busy going back and forth with that.
Understood. Understood.
Um, yeah,
Yeah.
my daughter, she's not able to tell me Happy Father's Day because she's training for the army.
Wow.
Um, but my son, my other son, he's actually doing other stuff. He called me, but he's actually busy, on a project in Ghana.
Mm. Understood. Wow. Good afternoon, Munch British. Good afternoon. We're done now, no Munch British, but it's okay. It's there on the replay for you. But skeptic, I interrupted you. I apologize. What were you going to say to me before I interrupted you? Skeptic.
No, that's fine. I catch you live yesterday. Can you hear me?
I can hear you. Yes, I can.
Can you hear
Can you
me?
hear? Yes, I can. Can you hear me? Yes, I can hear you. Skeptic, skeptic, jump off and come back on because I can't hear you. Skeptic, yeah, come back on there. You're late again. Yeah, Munch British. The lesson finished now. We started at 7. Put your notification on. That's all right. That's all right. So the late ones are always the brightest ones in the class, right? Right? So, right. So small progress is still progress, people. Right? And success often arrives disguised as endurance. All right, Skeptic, I'm going to add you back again. All right?
Yeah, no, like I was saying, I listened to your live yesterday. I just check in when you dropped the link, so I didn't really get to hear much of what you said. But it's in regards to your live yesterday, it's really good information. I just tap in to tell you continue to work.
Oh, thank you, Skeptic. Thank you.
It it was very, yeah, it was very informative, and you know, I know on YouTube it doesn't matter which group you're aligned to. Um, it it is transactional, so you have to be committed. You have to be somewhat be a loyalist to really get support. But I wish you all the best, and I hope that your platform continue to grow regardless of whatever side you choose. Because I'm not really a supporter of that particular artist. So
Right. Well, thank you very much for your well wishes, Skeptic. I appreciate it. Right. So
yeah.
I'm going to continue with the lesson. And then if you want to jump in about anything pertaining to what we were talking about today, feel free. Right. So give me 1 second. I'm almost finished. I only have 2 more slides left. So most people quit because they underestimate the timeline. Right. They underestimate the timeline. Philip said, keep doing the do. Thanks, Philip. Right. So when you look at all 10 chapters, Fire Nation, right? They create a blueprint, right? Chapter 1, discipline. 2, teamwork. 3, heart. 4, resilience. 5, learning through failure. 6, courage. 7, standing up for your values. 8, preparation. 9, hope. And 10, persistence, right? So this was not a book about making beds. It's a book about building character, right? So I want you guys this Sunday, tonight, to ask yourselves, what dreams have you almost quit on? What helped you keep going during your hardest season? And do you believe that persistence is more important than talent? I don't know if more important. Maybe we should say as important, Julia. Yeah. Put as important. As important, Fire Nation. Sorry, quick edit. All right, good. So we're done with this lesson now. Skeptic, go ahead, sir. If you have anything to, did you sit
Well,
through the entire presentation or no?
not today.
Not today. Okay,
Is it about music today? Because yesterday
no,
you
no, no.
haven't
Today is
that.
about today. No, no. Today, the slide that you just joined is where we were uncovering "Make Your Bed," which is a business book. And so we were at part 2 because we did part 1 last Sunday, and this
Oh,
Sunday
okay.
part 2. So it was a different book review today. So Sundays we do the book reviews, Skeptic, and on Saturdays we'll do like the dance hall or the music reasoning.
Oh, okay, okay, okay.
Yeah, yeah,
All
yeah,
right.
yeah. No
No,
worries.
good to know. Good to
Good
know.
stuff. All right, good, good.
Yeah, I'm very busy mostly, and I check in, when I can. But
No worries, no worries. Most people catch us on the playback, so that's fine, perfectly fine.
yeah,
Per-
on the topic yesterday in regards to the music, it was good pointers. I
Thank
personally, I
I
personally, when
think
it
though,
comes,
Skeptic, I'm gonna ask you to keep. I don't want to contaminate the two lives.
oh, I see, I see.
Until we can talk about that on a dance hall in the dance hall. Okay, but go
Yeah,
ahead and
yeah.
ask. But go. What were you gonna ask? Let me see if it's long.
No,
Go
no,
ahead.
no, that's fine. No, that's fine.
Yeah, because
I'll,
I have more of a different audience that check in for this side than the
yeah,
dance
yeah, yeah.
hall side, and I have to consider them on the playback.
Yeah, man, definitely. And
All
I
right.
totally understand
Thank you
that.
so much. Thank you so much. Well, if nobody else is coming up, bless you, Fire Nation. I hope you enjoy the rest of your Father's Day. Thanks for keeping me company. And don't forget to like on your way out. Leave a comment if you want. And you know what? Suggest a book you want me to tear apart for you. Yeah. Even if I haven't read it, I'll read it just for you. All right. So have a great Sunday. And this is Miss Blue Fire, always taking you higher.
Fire Nation, listen to me. You don't log off and go back to playing small. You take what you learned and you execute. This is why Fire Nation exists. To rise higher, to build smarter, and to change the financial future of our families. I'm Miss Julia, A.K.A. Miss Blue Fire, always taking you higher. And wherever you go next, you carry our fire with you. Fire Nation, we rise, we build, and we're just getting started.